everyone, my name's Tata Kononova and I am a teacher of the Green Academy Australia. How do you feel about job interviews in English? I'm sure they can be a bit scary for you. That is why we have prepared some really useful tips and tricks which will help you handle any job interview in English successfully. Mind that to start a job interview, you will need to do quite a lot of preparatory work. That is why we are going to start our talk with your home task, which you will need to handle like a diligent student. And the first step you are going to take is visiting the company's website and analyzing their mission and vision statement. This will help you show that you share the company's values and you will become a successful member of their team. Let's have a look at a real-life example. I have taken Apple mission statement from their official company's website. It goes as follows: to bring the best user experience to its customers through its innovative hardware, software, and services. And the first phrase which attracts our attention is user experience, which tells us that the company highlights the importance of its customers. Then goes the necessity of constant change for the better, expressed by the word innovative. And finally goes top quality, which is expressed by the word the best. It means that if a hiring manager sees a rigid and inflexible person who tends not to pay attention to the people he works with, or who tends to put quantity before quality, they are most probably not going to hire such a person, and vice versa. If you show flexible attitude, if you make them believe that you strive to achieve, then you will land the job. As far as the vision statement is concerned, it goes as follows. We believe that we're on the face of the earth to make great products, and that's not changing. You see, top quality is emphasized again. Consequently, to include words and phrases about high quality and making sure you produce solid results means to boost your chances for employment. The information which you will obtain after analyzing the mission and vision statements of the company you want to work for will help you address the questions like: what are you passionate about? What are your strengths? Why do you want to work for us? What are your greatest professional achievements? The questions may not be exactly the same, but the meaning is absolutely like that of the questions I have listed here. To give you some examples and to make use of the Apple mission statement, if a person is asked, what are you passionate about? A good answer will be, well, producing top quality results and ensuring that my work is done really well are the things which motivate and drive me. Or, why do you want to work for us? It's a priority and honor for me to work for a company which really values its customers and want to ensure the best user experience for them. By the way, I want to share a wonderful resource which will help you practice your ability to analyze vision and mission statements. There you will find dozens of mission and vision statements from various companies with really thorough analysis. Even if you don't find the ones which belong to the company you want to work for, you can practice, you can analyze what has already been done by other people, and therefore boost your abilities to understand such statements and naturally boost your English. The next step you are going to have is knowing and determining the company's pains and goals. Mind to use the company's language to speak about these issues. That will let the hiring manager see that you are the person who's going to solve their issues and will assist them with moving towards their goals and aims. Again, let's have a look at a real-life example. If one of the company's priorities is to provide results quicker than its competitors, then you understand that their pain is meeting tight deadlines. Consequently, their goal is to complete tasks within a shorter term without sacrificing quality at the same time. So you can take the following steps. First of all, you need to prepare to describe a time when your actions and your ability to plan cleverly helped your employer meet the deadline or maybe even finish the work before the due date. Then come up with a few suggestions how the company's current tasks can be solved quicker. Finally, make a list of qualities associated with a person who always does their job on time. It may be something like punctual, accurate, never miss a deadline, be good at prioritizing, to show or to have excellent abilities in time management, and so on. Make sure that you use these words both in your resume, in your covering letter, and of course during your job interview when you describe yourself or your behavior. Once again, pay attention to the first step where you prepare to describe a time when you behaved in the way which helped solve the issues quicker. Such examples, such cases will be very useful when you answer behavioral questions, when you need to describe your specific actions. The next step is to find out what kind of job interview you are going to face. That will help you practice your answers to obtain the necessary English vocabulary and practice it, and of course to prepare examples to address the interviewer's questions. Let's have a look at examples. If you know that you are going through a behavioral interview, which you are most likely to because now behavioral questions have become an integral part of any job interview, you need to train the STAR method of addressing questions where you explain the situation, specify the task the situation put in front of you, describe your actions, and describe specific results which your actions brought. Then you also need to collect examples from your experience. Mind that these examples shouldn't be too general or too vague. They need to be specific, and if you can, mention specific figures and exact and precise data. If you know that you are going through a panel interview where you are interviewed by several people at the same time, you need to find out who the panelists are. It will help you not only to predict their questions or the areas of your work they may be interested in, but also to find out something about the panelists themselves. You can use professional networking websites for that, exploring people's profiles and therefore getting better prepared. If you need that it's going to be a group interview where several candidates are interviewed by one person at the same time, you need to be ready to work as good and efficient part of a team rather than as individual. But mind that you should be noticeable, so you need to be prepared to stand out from the crowd in a positive way. If it's going to be a task or case-oriented interview, when the hiring manager offers you several cases which you can come across in your working life and asks you to solve them, you need to think about such cases. Maybe you have had several of them, or maybe you have read about something like that. and prepare your solutions, again using the STAR method. If you are in for a stress interview, you need to make a list of emergency situations and the most stressful factors which you can come across both at your work and during a job interview. It may be something like being shouted at, not being listened to, being ignored by your listener. Mind that a stress interview requires really serious preparation, and you'd better rehearse it with an experienced English tutor. Finally, if you are going through a remote interview, which is very common nowadays, all the above mentioned steps will be handy. And do not forget to prepare a clever and smart cheat sheet for yourself so that to use it during the interview. Put your hints somewhere near your webcam and use them to make your answers more confident and precise. Finally, don't forget to make a list of your own questions for the interviewer. The thing is, if the interviewer allows you some time for asking questions and you do not utter a word, the interviewer thinks that you are not very interested in the position. Therefore, the hiring manager is not likely to give you the job. But mind that you need to address this task in a smart way. Do not include into the list of your questions something too trivial, like your job responsibilities or something very general about your job or profession. Also, it's not a nice idea to speak about the bonuses or the salary. Or maybe the terms you are going or you want to get a promotion. Usually, such things are discussed after you have received the job offer and not during the job interview. But what to include into the list of your questions? First of all, it may be something about the working environment, like the office you are going to work at, maybe the dress code, the attire you are supposed to wear. It may be something about professional development and training. It will not only let you know about your chances for such training, but also let the interviewer understand that you are ready to develop and to grow professionally. And of course, you may ask several questions about your future colleagues. Mind not to be too personal, but it's a nice idea to ask if you will receive some supervision and who you can turn to if you have some questions about your work. So, we have finally come to the process of the interview itself. It's almost impossible to predict the exact questions you're going to be asked. That is why our task is to ensure that you are really comfortable and you do your best and make the best impression. Mind that even nowadays your attire, your clothes do matter. Mind to dress not to fit in rather than to impress. You'd better find out about the clothes which are appropriate in the company so that to comply to the style, and mind to choose the most comfortable clothes of the style you have. It's not a nice idea to be overdressed. For example, if you wear a suit and a tie and you are interviewed for a position in the company which welcomes casual style, you will definitely seem awkward. So do your research beforehand. Then don't forget to make use of your homework. It's okay to take your notes together to the interview room with you. Do not read them. Just have a glance at them so that to make your answers more precise. Mind to learn the vocabulary so that your English is good enough to speak on professional topics, to describe and discuss your professional experience. And please make sure you pronounce the word in the correct way. Mind the stresses and the sounds. Remember that it's okay to take notes during the interview. A piece of paper is a must if you're in for a panel interview, because you can note down the names of the panelists on your piece of paper. But anyway, even if it's an ordinary, a conventional job interview, you can put down notes if the question is too long or you are afraid to forget the beginning. Then, be ready to improvise, but don't forget the cases you have come up with during the preparation stage. You should be able to very well adjust the setting, maybe some details, for example, the time frame of the stories you have prepared while you were thinking about the cases from your experience for the job interview. And adjust the details so that to address the question in the best way. Stay yourself and be very honest. Do not be tempted to show the personality traits which you do not really have. Do not boast about the experiences which you never had. Remember that such details are very easy to check, and you will be in an awkward situation if the hiring manager does try to check whether you were honest or not really. Finally, remember that you are a human being. It's all right to forget something or to lose your thought. Just be ready to let the interviewer know about it. Prepare some words like "sorry, I can't remember the word for," and explain the notion you wanted to speak about. "Sorry, it seems I've lost my thought. Just give me a second, please." Breathe, stay calm, and you will win the heart of the interviewer. There are some very trivial tips, but being in a stressful situation, anybody can forget about them. That is why we decided to give you a very quick reminder. Be polite with everyone, including the receptionist and even the cleaners. If a hiring manager sees that you are polite with them, but you are rude with the other staff, it will definitely not make a favorable impression. Smile, be friendly, shake hands, greet everyone, make eye contact. And by the way, shaking hands, make sure that your handshake is quite firm and confident. Memorize names and don't hesitate to use them when you address people. There is a trick which will help you memorize names better. When you get acquainted with a person and they introduce themselves, don't say "nice to meet you." Say "nice to meet you, John," and you will see how easy it is to memorize the name straight away. Don't be late for the interview. It's not only impolite for the interviewer. When you are late, you deprive yourself of a chance to put your attire in order, to breathe, to familiarize yourself with the environment, to relax, and therefore to make good impression. Finally, make sure that you speak clearly and coherently. Don't speak too quickly or too quietly. Do not create obstacles for the interviewer to understand you. Mind that there are also some steps which are advisable to be taken after the interview. It's a nice idea to write a short thank you note to the interviewer. It should really be concise, but very polite and very positive. The interviewer should be convinced that you had good impression and you enjoyed their interview. Do you remember there was a piece of advice to come up with solutions for addressing the company's pains? So make sure that you include the key points you made during the interview into these thank you notes. You may also add some second thoughts if they are going to be useful for addressing the company's pains and goals. Make sure that your note shows that you are eager to cooperate with the company even if you are not given this particular position. Say that if the potential employer turns your candidacy down this time, you are ready to fill in some vacancies which will come afterwards. And finally, use a trick which is called limited availability. In your thank you note, you may ask the hiring manager to give you the answer, to give you their decision by some particular date, mentioning that after that you are going to have another job interview with another company. Such a trick will show the hiring manager that you are an expert who is highly on demand, and maybe to make the decision in your favor. I'm sure that if you do all your tasks properly, that if you follow all these pieces of advice, your next job interview is going to be brilliant and you are going to land the job of your dream. Please remember that the teachers of the Green Academy Australia are always here. They will help you rehearse your job interview questions or prepare a brilliant CV or a resume, so don't hesitate to contact us. Good luck once again and see you.